What's going on, everybody? I'm really tiny. Welcome into another episode. Dylan and Ross Save Sports here on Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. I'm Ross Jackson. I'm little tiny on the screen. That Dylan Sanders, he big on the screen.
Yeah, what's up, guys? What's going on?
I think you've misunderstood what the purpose of this is.
Oh, you're talking? All right, yeah. So I thought I'd just switch the main camera on whoever's talking at the moment.
Right, yes. Okay, but the issue is that the bigger one is the main camera. The smaller one is not.
I don't know what you're talking about, Ross.
Oh, geez. Welcome back, everybody. It's a fresh Monday here, fresh week. Here on Dylan and Ross Save Sports, Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. Thanks for joining us. You can follow me on Twitter at Ross Jackson Nola. You can follow Dylan on Twitter at Tilly Sanders. We're already off to a very fun show today. We have a lot to go through, a lot of great stuff to talk about. March Madness continues on in both women's and men's NCAA tournament.
We got first half of the Elite Eight today, Ross.
First half of the Elite Eight coming up in just a couple of hours, actually. So we're right on it. And then, and then we'll also get to, about 2 hours. And then we have more going on within the NFL as well. A huge trade on Friday that we'll get to talk a little bit more about today. And then, of course, it's Monday, so we'll always do something fun to wrap up the show, a bracket fight, tier list, something along those lines. But before we get started, Dylan, you got a favorite thing from Twitter today?
Yes, Ross. I wanted to share a story, because I spent the entire day with my grandmother, and this is a story that I would read on Twitter and would be like, "Oh man, that's great." And you know what, Ross? So my grandmother, is not young, I would say. She's been around for a while. She lived in Plaquemine, Louisiana.
Oh yeah,
in the late 1950s.
Okay.
She was in high school, and she lived there whenever
we actually went to school together.
I mean, so we had this conversation when Nick Underhill was on the show, Ross. Y'all are ancient. I am a young, spry young man.
Right.
But she lived in Plaquemine whenever the first Mexican family that ever lived in Plaquemine moved in. And of course, at times, this gets sad for a second, but then there's a feel-good ending.
Okay.
And of course, the next day at school, the first day at school, the kids were bullying the new family because, that's how people were.
Right.
But are. True. That's how people are still to this day. But my grandmother has never stood for bullying. So she went over to the main guy, I think his name was Henry. Went over to Henry and was like, "Hey, leave him alone. He's not doing anything to you. He's just here." And he didn't do anything. He was like, "Get out, stay out of this," and then pushed my grandmother away.
Whoa. So
she then, because you also got to remember, women were also treated differently in the 50s. And still are to this day. Treated differently. He pushed her away and then, kept going. And then she came and pushed him back and tripped him over his desk and knocked him and his desk over.
Hell yeah.
And then the teacher was like, "Hey, yo, knock it off." And
it's a very good 50s school teacher. Hey, knock it off over there.
Knock it off over there. Did I mention this was in Jersey?
Louisiana? Okay.
This is in the Plaquemines, Louisiana. Gotta get some gabagool for lunch. And so he was like, I'll finish this. Very TV show-esque.
Yeah, very.
So after class, she was getting a book from the lower locker. You know how lockers work. There's one on top, one on bottom. Yep. She was in the lower one. Then she felt someone tap her on her shoulder, and she looked, and he was behind her and slapped her as hard as he could.
Yo, what the hell?
Bare-fisted. This is all because she's
Bare-fisted.
not. Yeah, like you know what I mean. She's just like
Did you put a glove on or
He
nothing?
palmed her. He palmed her, and like, and then so my grandmother, of course, stood up, unfazed, and punched him right in his nose, knocked him down, and got on top and started pounding this man.
Nice.
And so this is my favorite story is that so it was her beating the ever living hell out of this like high school bully. And his friends were like, "Come on, Harry, don't let this little girl beat your ass." And then as by the time she had stopped, his face was covered in blood and snot, and he was like, "Oh, you're lucky I gotta go catch this bus."
Oh yeah, sure.
Or else I would finish this. And then her response was, "Oh, please, let's finish this. My father will give you a ride home." So then he scurried off to the bus. And then so the next day she walked into class and tripped on the door, dropped her books, and she said he nearly broke his back running to go pick up her books for her.
That's hilarious. Yo, shout out Dylan's grandma.
Yeah.
I act surprised about this entire story, but obviously I watched all of this happen. And I was off to the side, like, "Hey, do you need a little bit of help?" And she was like, "Nah, I got this. I'm cool."
I'm cool, Ross.
So, I just kind of like sat back and, just let her handle her business because she knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an insanely, it's a roller coaster of a story.
Yeah.
It's a real roller coaster of a story. But what an incredible person your grandmother is.
Yes.
I love that. No, don't worry. We can finish this. I'll give you a ride home.
No. We can finish this. My dad will give you a ride home.
Don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that. I love it.
I just like the defeat of it. Come on, don't let her whoop your ass. They weren't helping at all because they knew that they would also feel the wrath of Shirley Sanders.
Shirley Sanders, what a name. That's a fighting name too. You could like, I could see Ronda Rousey, Shirley Sanders. Like,
she was called Mustang Shirley, Ross.
Mustang Shirley. Oh,
she has a license plate. Mustang Shirley.
That's hysterical. That's so good. That's so dope. I love that.
She is 5'5" and 100 pounds.
And every bit of it.
Coming for your face, Henry.
You should have stayed home, Henry. Should have stayed home.
At least shouldn't have been a jerk to the new family.
Right. Yeah. Jesus. Well, what a story. My favorite thing from Twitter today was that over the last 24 hours, we've seen a lot of clips of oh my goodness, what is the name of the show? Oh no. Now I've forgotten it. It was Damon Wayne's old show. It's 20 years old now. What is it? My Wife and Kids. Thank you. It's My Wife and Kids was 20 years old or became 20 years old yesterday since its first episode aired. I used to love that show. So I'm probably going to go back and watch it. I have started going back and rewatching Family Matters, though.
Is it good?
A very good watch. Very good watch. Very wholesome watch.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, that was my favorite thing. Not at all equipped to be. Man, I miss school in the 50s.
Do you, Ross?
Yeah, I miss school in the 50s.
No time like it. No time like it, Ross, for you, I bet.
This is a great time to be in school for me in the 50s, let me tell you. Well, around 1957 or so is when really that timeline starts for me. But not much earlier than that. Not much earlier than that. Oh my goodness. All right, let me calm down. It's too early in the show for me to be already going into this level of diatribe. What about performance of the day?
Probably my grandma still.
Yeah, probably. I understand that.
Other than that, let's see. Texas women's basketball.
Yes, definitely. Interesting thing about your grandmother winning performance of the day today. the day after this incident that you're describing between Mustang Shirley and Henry, she also won Performance of the Day on the radio show in the 1950s. I do remember that. I do remember.
Oh yes. Ross and Dylan. I was trying to think of a 1950s word. Yeah, see?
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
you got it. Ross and Dylan. Yeah, see? There you go.
Yeah, see? This is Ross and Dylan. There's words. Yeah. Hey, Ross, guess what?
That's the name of the show. What?
Chicken butt. Hey.
Dude,
That's how they talk in the. That's the what is it called? The
dialect of the 1950s.
Yeah, what's that accent called? I can't think of it. But it was the accent where people sounded like cartoon characters.
Very vaudevillian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Texas
Transatlantic.
Yes. Yeah. Also Becker. Yeah, I Texas women's team, fantastic game last night. I thought that all of the games from this weekend in the men's and women's tournament were pretty good. Were all really good, with the exception of maybe the which one was it? Oh, the Houston Syracuse game. Houston Syracuse was just kind of an easy romp in the park for for Houston is all that it was, but it's a lot of fun to watch. I don't know where to go with my performance of the day. Paige Buchers was outstanding. Caitlin Clark was outstanding as well.
Baby.
Yes, Paige buckets. They were both outstanding to watch in the UConn and Iowa game.
Oh, I cannot wait until UConn and Gonzaga both win. And there's that picture, because I'm pretty sure Paige Buchers and Jalen Suggs went to the same high school.
Oh, that's so good. Jalen Suggs is the other one who I was thinking of for performance of the day, because he was outstanding. I know he didn't, go out there and score a ton, but I mean, his court vision, everything that he does was just extraordinary in their game this past weekend. And then
same area. They didn't go to the same high school, same area. But there was a picture circulated of them, I was going to say in high school a year ago.
Yes, of course. Gonzaga,
they're good friends.
Yeah, Gonzaga just looks so good. They just look so good. I mean, they look like a well-oiled, well-coached, perfect machine of a team. They do everything so fundamentally well. We just brought on a new Locked On Zags host over at the Locked On Podcast Network, and the way that he described them was that they look like a very good European team.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought was a pretty adequate summation of their performance, because I think they just play extraordinarily well.
This is amazing.
What you got?
I'm just reading more about Jalen Suggs and Paige Buchers.
Nice.
Over never-ending games of 21 at Suggs family barbecues while sipping milkshakes side by side, they discovered a shared truth. When the game is on the line, when the lights are the brightest, they want the ball in their hands. This is about Paige Buchers and Jalen Suggs.
Love it.
Yeah, they've just been friends they were born 139 days apart.
Wow. That's pretty dope. I love it, man. They have been so much fun to watch. A couple of other players that I've really liked watching so far. Michigan's Mike Smith is always a ton of fun to watch as well. Oh my goodness. The Mosley brothers. Did I get that right from USC?
Yeah, Mobley
brothers. Thank you. The Mobley brothers. They were a ton of fun to watch. That team, that USC team, is so long, so deep, so athletic. And we get USC Gonzaga, which is going to be pretty phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the Pac-12. 3 Pac-12 teams or 3 Pac-12 teams that were in the Sweet 16. Everything. All the number 1 seeds have moved on. Michigan, Gonzaga, and Baylor all move forward. UCLA, USC both move forward. USC versus Oregon was a great game last night. Oregon almost looked like they were going to make it interesting as they were trying to close out that big double-digit lead in between the two. Almost got it down to single digits, but couldn't quite hold them off just long enough. That USC team is super good. Super, super good. Who's been the most exciting team that you've watched so far? And both men's team and a women's team.
Um, UCLA, honestly.
Yeah, they're something else, man.
I don't know. Gonzaga's just perfectly, like, just technically on another level.
Mm-hmm.
Most of that starting lineup is going to be in the NBA next year. They're primed to win it.
Yeah.
But I can say with a certainty that I am going to be glued to the TV tomorrow night as USC and Gonzaga
Oh,
go against each other.
I cannot wait for
Man,
that
we get
game.
UNC Gonzaga and UCLA Michigan, which is also primed to be a great game.
Yeah, those are both going to be really, really good.
What do you think is going to happen tonight with Oregon State and Houston and Arkansas Baylor?
Houston and Baylor, I think I have moving on here, but I'm really excited to see Arkansas and Baylor. I think that's going to be a fun game. I think that Oregon State,
never doubt the Pac-12, baby.
Never want to doubt the Pac-12. Like I mentioned, we've got 3 Pac-12 teams that moved on: Oregon State, USC, UCLA. But I just don't. I think we did a live show last night recapping the Sweet 16, and Kitten Gibbs, who does Locked On Wolfpack, was representing the ACC, and he was like, "The slipper has fallen off, the carriage has turned back into a pumpkin." All these things, like it is. It feels very much like Oregon. Like this is where it stops for them.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it ends for them. That's my expectation, at least. But like you said, we can't count out the Pac-12, as the Pac-12 has been outstanding. Can we talk about the horrible scheduling though of these games?
What do you mean?
Like, I get that there are a lot of West Coast teams, but the fact that these games are starting at like 10 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, Arkansas Baylor kicks off 8:57 p.m. Central.
Yeah, it's brutal.
On a Monday night and a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Man, Houston better be lucky. Houston better be lucky. Michigan is in trouble, Ross, because you know what that Tuesday night game is, Ross? For UCLA, Ross, that's Pac-12 after dark, baby.
Pac-12 after dark.
So I am 100% Ross. If I had money in my betonline.ag account, I would be putting money UCLA +7.
Let's do it. Here, let's do it.
Do it on the show.
We're gonna do it right now.
Because I am guaranteeing that UCLA will cover the 7-point spread. That's about all I'm guaranteeing.
That's all I need. That's all I need. Yeah. How much life savings do we have? Let's put it all on it. Okay, great. I'm just gonna put all of our life savings on UCLA +7.
I get at least $1 if you win.
At least $1, Dylan. You can have 2.
Yeah, double the asking price.
Yeah, I said it.
Oh man.
Should I also take the first half period plus 4?
No, they're going to be down by 5 going into halftime, Ross. So it's going to be just too much. It's going to be just too much. Just too much. Oregon State going to lose to Houston. Houston is just a suffocating basketball team.
They really are. They really, really are. Yeah. All right. I just put out.
I would imagine that the Locked On Wolfpack host is it? You said Cincinnati. He's the Cincinnati guy.
You're talking about Kenton, who I was mentioning.
Yeah.
No, he's NC State.
NC State. Oh, I was gonna say I would imagine. Oh yeah, Bearcats. Duh, I'm dumb. I was gonna say I would imagine because Cincinnati lost to Houston 91-54 in the final of the ACC championship.
Yeah, he would have been pretty mad about that. Pretty mad. Yeah, no. I think that like the one that he did have to see yesterday though was NC State's women's team fall. Which or earlier this weekend, NC State's women's team fall. The number 1 seed women's team fall into Indiana 73-70. That was a very good game. All of these games have been fantastic. I think probably my favorite game to watch from the women's slate on Saturday was Arizona and Texas A&M. Arizona is my favorite. Ari McDonald is phenomenal. 31 points in that game against Texas A&M, and the defenses were just astounding in that contest for both teams.
Mm-hmm.
They have been a ton of fun to watch.
Of course, with UConn, with Texas, you did get a good look at future first overall pick Charlie Collier.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and then Texas won. So shout out to them. They have that going for them.
Who is the team that you wish was still in the tournament?
I for women's,
Uh-huh.
probably NC State.
NC State. Okay.
They've got a good squad. For men's. The team I was really sad to see go, not Oral Roberts. Glad they're gone. Is
I
it?
love the consistent beef that you have with Oral Roberts,
Hey, listen.
and rightfully so.
You can't have social dances on or with the school's name, Ross, because it's
Oh,
too much of a
whoops.
sin to have a school dance.
Jesus.
Literally.
Exactly. Yes.
Probably Loyola Chicago.
Loyola Chicago. Yeah. Sister
Yeah,
Jean.
I miss my 50-year-old dude going down there. Buckets. I don't know. I'm glad Oregon State's still on there. Who do you want to win? If you had to pick one of these teams to win, who would you want to win out of this group of teams?
The ones that remain in the men's tournament?
Yes.
Gonzaga for me.
Just because they deserve it?
Yeah, I just think that they're phenomenal. Jalen Suggs is just awesome. And his story is awesome too, and everything. I've gotten to hear a whole bunch about what he is about and what he does and what means, how everything means to him. With the, he throws up that X every game and he like talks to his friend and everything during the anthem every game and stuff like that. Like he's just such a cool, like such an awesome guy. And I want that for him. If I'm being honest, I want that for him.
Future Rocket Jalen Suggs.
Yeah. Hell of a get. I mean, he's been nothing short of phenomenal so far on the court. So I would say Gonzaga. If not Gonzaga, and I had to pick another team, I'd probably go with UCLA. And I know it's not going to happen as an 11 seed. But they're fun, man. They're just fun to watch.
Tiger Campbell, you kidding me?
Yeah.
What a name. What a player.
Just wildly fun to watch. And I'm all about Westwood. So
if I would probably pick UCLA as the team I would want to win.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they're fun, Yeah. Cinderella story. It's not going to happen. Gonzaga's going to win. But it's fun to think about it.
You better. I think USC is probably up there in terms of some of the toughest competition they've faced
probably
so far.
The only team left that can beat Gonzaga, I would say, just because of the Mobley brothers and that interior defense.
Drew Timmy, baby. I'm all about Drew Timmy.
Has he shaved yet?
No, it's everything else is starting to grow in around it, but the handlebar is still there. His mom is still wearing the earrings as well.
Okay, because I thought he said he was going to shave it if they reached the Sweet 16, or at least that's what the promise was. But it's too much power.
So his mom, yes, exactly. His mom is like, you have to get rid of it. It looks terrible. But all of his teammates are like, don't you dare. You're averaging. It was something I think they were talking about. Ian Eagle was talking about it yesterday or Saturday during the broadcast, and it was like the team is like, no, you're averaging too many points during the tournament here. Do not shave it. So right now he still has it. As for like the women's team, I wish was still in is easily Iowa. More Caitlin Clark all the time, and then the women's team that I think I picked to win everything moving forward is UConn. But if I wasn't going to pick UConn, I'd have to go with Arizona. They're so good. And they're so fast. I love their brand big time. UConn and Gonzaga are both kind of that like meticulous chop you down kind of brand. UCLA and Arizona both very much the like, we are better than you, we are faster than you type of play, and just superstars as well. Again, Ari McDonald, just incredible. So those are definitely my picks. We're hoping to get. I have somebody that I really, really, really respect that I want to come and talk women's Elite Eight with us once these Sweet 16 games are settled, and everything that I hope we can get on the show. And I respect her and her work very, very much. And so I really, really hope that we can get her to join us because I think she would have some really phenomenal insight. So hopefully that will happen later on throughout the week.
Well, it is Elite Eight, I think, right? Or is it still Sweet 16?
Oh, did I flip it? Sorry, after Elite Eight going into the Final Four. My apologies.
Okay.
Yeah, because Sweet 16 just wrapped up this weekend.
Yes.
So, all right, let's step away for a second. Then when we come back, we'll talk a bit NBA. We'll have some NBA stuff to talk through, as well as NFL going back to the trades that took place on Friday that we should make sure that we continue to cover. So we'll talk about all of that and more here in just a little bit on today's episode. Dylan Rossi, Sports Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. But yeah, on break on the audio side, still here on the Vidja side. Vidja. VIDJA. Dylan, what are you doing with the rest of your day today? Work. Same.
I'm so tired. I'm going to sleep. I had to wake up at 7, which is early for me. Because I also sleep late.
Yeah. Did you get a second episode review for
No, that never went up. Couldn't get it up in time because it was
gotcha. Do it.
Extraneous circumstances.
Do it.
Yeah. Have you watched it yet?
Do it.
Second
no,
episode?
Not yet. I haven't watched the first episode either, though.
Oh, wow. Oh, come on. Did you watch Endgame?
Not yet. That's why I haven't watched Winter Soldier yet.
Watch it.
I'm waiting to get those in, and then I can start. Then I can stat. Greed.
Let's see.
All right. I put $700 on UCLA plus 7.
What?
I'm just joking.
I mean, you do you, boo-boo.
No, I'm just joking. I did put money on the plus 7, though. I had free play, so none of it means anything at all. None of it is actual.
I see. You don't respect me and my betting insight.
I'm getting all of my free play out, and then I'll start betting the actual money.
See, Ross?
I should have bet my money on that fight, that Conor McGregor fight, like I wanted to, and I didn't.
You definitely should have. Never. You'll never do that again.
No.
Because the fight's probably not going to happen again. Get it?
I would never. I have a lot of trouble betting on like UFC, MMA, boxing. It's just it's too unpredictable and too tampered with, I feel like, in some cases too. Like, that is a gambling market I would never want to try to profit off of.
I'm looking at this list of video game characters, and there are a lot I have no clue who they are.
Ooh, let's see who the Steelers took in our mock draft. Ooh, very interesting.
Who?
Can't tell you.
Tell me, leak it.
All right, here we go. All right, everybody, we are back. Dylan and Rossi, Sports Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. So, Dylan, when we left off last week, we had to do a short show last week, and we talked a bit about the big trade that took place for San Francisco, Philadelphia, and Miami. Miami. Just as a refresher, Miami moving from 3 back to 12, San Francisco moving up to 3, and then Miami moving back up from 12 to 6 with the Philadelphia Eagles moving back to 12. And then there are future picks and things like that are in there. Philadelphia has like 3 future first-round picks now and everything. They're looking really good in terms of what they might be able to do, maybe even to get back into the first round at a later time this season or during this draft. Now that we've had some time over the weekend to sort of let all this digest, we've seen a couple of reports kind of come out as well. San Francisco clearly moving up to the 3rd overall selection for a quarterback. There's no other reason to move up to number 3 in this draft, or any draft for that matter, in terms of everything that they gave up to get there. But still saying that Jimmy Garoppolo is the guy. Now we're getting a little bit more of a different story from ownership saying that they're, you know, it was a good opportunity and that Jimmy Garoppolo, blah, blah, basically saying that like they're down with keeping both Jimmy Garoppolo and a rookie. But it seems to me that the writing is on the wall. Draft a rookie, trade Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, to who?
I don't know who you trade him to. Perhaps you trade him to New England.
They just
Before
gave
New
a lot
England,
of money to Cam.
they gave some money to Cam. They didn't give a lot of money to Cam.
It wasn't like 10 million.
It's up to
Up to 10 million.
kind of a situation.
Okay.
But like, I mean, even still, like that's still $10 million. Like that's not a lot for a quarterback. Now, any team that trades for Jimmy Garoppolo has to shell out what, like $24 million?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the easiest ask at all. But if you can get a day 2 pick for the guy, seems pretty worth it to me.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Now, I would love to get your opinion on this too, because I know where mine is, but there's a lot of rumors circulating around that we shouldn't rule out Mac Jones at pick number 3. This all feels ridiculous to me.
So this is what happened, Ross.
Uh-huh.
The big thing everybody's freaking out about.
Right.
The Alabama, Mac Jones and Justin Fields, they're working out at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan choose to go visit with old boy Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And the GM, like the assistant GM or whatever, and a team of scouts go to Ohio State. This is more likely that Kyle Shanahan has worked with Justin Fields, knows what Justin Fields is about, doesn't need to see him at a pro day, and they want to see Mac Jones in person.
Right.
Again, because John Lynch did see him in person, but at the Senior Bowl. So,
right.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense to me. I think that people are kind of overblowing it, you know. And
because you want to know what doesn't matter, Ross? You want to know what doesn't matter?
What?
Pro day passing drills.
Now, I've seen people say that they do matter, Dylan. I've seen people be very adamant about the fact that they do matter.
You know what video was resurfacing and trending while this all happened, Ross?
What?
It's a YouTube video of a scout. A video titled "Daniel Jones had a perfect pro day." Pro days, Ross, don't matter. At least for passing drills. All right. I don't know. I'm just not that big on pro days.
No, I hear you. And I think that like this is one of those examples of like this is why every team has more than just a scout. Mm-hmm. Right? Like one scout might really value pro days, another scout doesn't, and then all of a sudden you get a more well-rounded idea of a prospect based on that because you're not putting all of your eggs into one basket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Of course you want the quarterback to be able to make these throws.
Yeah.
But just because he makes these throws, you shouldn't. I'd say struggling at a pro day is an issue.
You can certainly hurt yourself. Yeah.
Doing well at a pro day, I don't take much from it. Just like at the Senior Bowl.
Right.
Doing well at the Senior Bowl, it's good. But doing bad at the Senior Bowl is at least bad optics, but most teams won't hold it against you.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but that's like inherent part of scouting too, is that like you really just want to.
You can't take a 1-day sample size.
Right. Yeah, that's why you don't just watch one game and go, "Oh, this is the number 1 overall pick."
Yeah, I can tell you that the Atlanta Falcons didn't just watch one game of AJ Terrell, that being the game against LSU,
right?
And then decided to draft him in the first round because he was awful and got cooked.
Yeah, and that was the thing.
By apparently the 20th best wide receiver in this class.
that was the thing. Like you look at the fact that like so many people wrote off AJ Terrell based on that one game alone, as opposed to looking at his entire catalog of work. When actually AJ Terrell, like scheme versatile, prototypical size, good speed, good coverage, good ball skills, like he has everything that you need to develop a starting corner in the NFL out of a first round pick. Because even a first round pick outside of the top 6, 5, 3 in some classes need to be developed, right? They're not people
Ross,
like this.
or looking at last class, inside the top 3 need to be developed.
Yeah. 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 I mean, like it's not a clear cut draft and what plug and play type of a situation. They're not all going to be like that. And very rarely actually are they.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why free agency is like everlasting in terms of more important than the draft in terms of immediate impact, in terms of I want to win right now. You don't go to the draft for that. You don't wait around for a draft pick.
Is this the best year of the draft to be an older prospect who has a lot of reps?
Yeah, I think so.
Like
I mean, in
a
terms
Dylan
of
Radden, like a
right.
Jabril Cox.
Yeah, I mean, I think so because if the free agent market continues to struggle the way that it has here over the last couple of weeks after the first week of free agency, and teams aren't able to sign players and players aren't able to come to deals, then for the teams, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to look for the most veteran draft picks that I might be able to get in day 2, day 3 that could end up stepping into starting roles and at least be serviceable at a position, right? And at least be something there, right? Most of them still developmental, yes, but at the same time, like, I mean, you get these older guys, these players that have been around, that have more reps, that have more experience, that have their game a little bit more, higher football IQ just based on experience and all that. Like, there's value in that.
Like if you're drafting a 23-year-old Jabril Cox on day 2, you want him to, you still, even though he's a day 2 pick, you want him to be able to contribute like immediately.
Yeah, you don't need him to be an impact person, right? You don't need him to be somebody that changes the game for you. It's hard to expect that, but you could certainly ask him to contribute.
On like a football is football level.
Right, exactly. With an understanding that still, like, there is development, there is still growth yet to happen here.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this draft, Ross. I got to be real. A lot of mocks look the same, but I have truly no idea what's going to happen.
That's the same thing that happened last year, right? Like, you can't predict the draft. You know how much you would have to get right in order to predict a draft? Like, even
Ross, I think
just trading screws everything.
Do you want to do something, Ross?
Yeah.
You want to go look at my mock draft from last year?
Oh, what a fun idea. Yeah.
Just to prove. Oh man, I'm going to put myself on blast.
Well, I mean, but it's not just you, right? Like, it's going to be several.
Let's see, which one was this? This is from I have to find my the scroll back.
I never do like full first round mock drafts. I only ever draft the team that I'm covering.
You're a smart man.
Because
it's not easy. I'll tell you that much.
I believe that. Are you going to do another video mock draft like you did earlier this offseason?
Should I?
Might as well.
Let's see. Boom, boom, boom.
Shout out Whole Nine Sports. Check them out, whole9sports.com.
Whole9sports.com. All right. So first overall pick, Ross.
Okay. Nailed it.
Bro. Second overall pick. Nailed it. Third overall pick.
Nailed it.
There you go. Fourth overall pick, Ross. Isaiah Simmons.
Did not nail it.
Did not nail it. Miami Dolphins Tua.
Nailed it.
Justin Herbert.
Nailed it. So now we're starting. Now we get to where the draft really started, right?
Yeah.
At this point.
Boom. Javon Kinlaw of the Panthers. They went with a different defensive lineman.
They went with a nose tackle.
Arizona Cardinals, Tristan Wirfs. They went with Isaiah Simmons.
Right.
Jacksonville Jaguars, Derek Brown was already gone. The nose tackle was already gone.
Right.
Mekhi Becton, Browns, they took Jedrick Wills.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Chason did not go this high.
At all.
The Jets went Mekhi Becton.
Mm-hmm.
Ruggs, hey, I got that one.
There you go.
49ers selected Javon Kinlaw.
Right. Because they had traded away their DeForest Buckner to get to that pick in the first place.
The Bucks got Tristan Wirfs. Broncos nailed it. This was not a good example because I'm genius, Ross.
Yeah, clearly.
Let's see. CJ Henderson to the Falcons. They went with a different quarterback.
AJ Terrell.
AJ Terrell. We did not expect that. We did not expect AJ Terrell to go here.
Right.
Andrew Thomas. I had him going at pick 17
with a trade up.
That
is not the way that the Titans use their first round selection
on an offensive lineman. But they also Andrew Thomas went pick 4.
Right. 4th overall.
Miami Dolphins went Xavier McKinney, who lasted until the 2nd round.
Mm-hmm.
Las Vegas Raiders went with Jalen Johnson, and this one they went with what's his face?
David Arnett.
Jeff Gladney went to the Jaguars, and this was Caleb on Chaseon. Justin Jefferson to the Eagles. They should have. Vikings went Austin Jackson. The Patriots went Patrick Queen. The Saints went Christian Fulton. They should have. The Vikings went Noah Igbenogany. Dolphins went AJ Epinesa. He lasted way longer.
Mm-hmm.
The Indianapolis Colts traded up for Jordan Love. We all know the Green Bay Packers traded up for Jordan Love, which no one saw coming.
Right.
The Baltimore traded out, and the Browns traded up for Kenneth Murray. The Cowboys selected Grant Delpit, who didn't go in the first. The Packers selected Denzel Mims, who didn't go in the first. And Lloyd Cushenberry went in the 3rd.
Right.
And Cesar Ruiz went earlier in the. And then you just can't really.
Right. Like that's the thing. Is like it's so hard to project the first round. You don't know who's gonna fall. You don't know who's gonna rise. You don't know who's gonna all of a sudden be a first rounder. You don't know what teams are gonna move and trade back and trade up and do all this stuff. Like you just never have any idea about how all this is gonna unfold.
And looking at this by the 2nd round, I was already completely wrong. And I think the entire 2nd round. So
yeah, it's too incredibly hard to predict all of this stuff. And it's rough, man. It's rough. And so like that's why I chuckle all the time when people are like, oh well, that person's not gonna be there at that draft pick. Says who?
Yeah.
Says
you
who?
don't know.
Like who or that
I got Logan Wilson to Cincinnati in the 3rd round.
There you go.
Like I got one. I got one right. Outside of
my other favorite thing to consider is that like, oh well, this person is the 3rd best quarterback on the list. But yes, okay. But who's the 3rd team to draft a quarterback, and what is their system? How does that fit with the person you have that correlates with your 3rd quarterback? Right? That's not necessarily going to mean the same thing. Like those two things aren't going to be 1-to-1.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've talked about it before. Who's a better fit for the New York Jets offense? Is it Zach Wilson or is it Justin Fields? It's probably going to be Zach Wilson. And that's probably why he's going to go number 2 overall and be the 2nd quarterback off the board, even though many of us still have Justin Fields as the quarterback number 2 in the draft class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The draft is crazy. Don't act like you know what's going to happen.
Yeah. It's kind of wild. It's very wild, actually. All right, so we have the MLB first pitch in just a couple of days, opening day, a few days away. We're going to talk more in depth about baseball here in a couple of days. We're going to welcome on our good friend Sarah Griffin on Wednesday, who we love working with. So very glad that she's going to be coming through to help us get ready for the MLB season. So we're not completely ignoring it. We just want to wait until we can have a more educated conversation about it with the help of Sarah. But it is right around the corner, and that is on the way on Thursday, April 1st, if I remember correctly, will be opening day for many teams.
Ooh.
What you got?
Sheesh. Elijah Mitchell's 10-yard split was 151.
Yeah, he had a ridiculous day.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Can we also talk about how ridiculous Zion Williamson is for just a moment?
Just absurd.
It's
and he's
insane.
only getting better, dude.
Yeah.
Every single night. 39 followed up with a 38-point game performance, and tonight going up against the Celtics without their best defensive player.
40 points tonight.
You think it's going to happen tonight?
Finally happening.
He said his next 25 games is going to be better than his last 25 games, which have been phenomenal.
That's just stupid. That's just stupid, man.
Ross,
He's been
he is
so
still
fun.
technically considered a rookie if you look at playing time.
Oh, so could he win Rookie of the Year this year?
No, he couldn't
Oh, well then.
because he played. He did play last year, but like years of you look at his playing time, years of service, technically
Right.
not still under one,
All right.
which is just crazy.
Yeah.
And he is 28. He is eighth in the league in scoring.
And he's like barely 21? Barely
He
20?
he turned 20 on. He turns 21 in 2 months.
Stupid. It's just ridiculous, man.
Nope, 3 months.
Wow. Even better. I mean, he's just going to continue to get better and better and better. And it's going to be so much fun to watch him for the next like couple of years that he's still in New Orleans.
He's gonna be
We'll
in New
see.
Orleans. He's staying.
I
Ross.
think
Let's
he's going to
dance.
stay. I think he's going to
Let's
stay.
dance,
I do.
Ross.
I do. I don't think like it's hard for me to equate his personality with somebody that would force his way out.
You know,
But who knows?
You know what, Ross? I'm
Who knows?
calling right now. Lonzo Ball is gonna be a Pelican next season too.
I think so. I can see that. I mean, they really like him. And this is clearly not a team that's that desires to make many moves with their roster. So
Especially not ones within the starting lineup that should probably be made.
yeah, like they have trouble. They have trouble making adjustments, nonetheless. Wide reaching changes. So, all right, shall we get to our bracket fight?
Do we have one?
15 minutes left. I don't know. We're talking about video game characters. We're talking about a couple of different things.
There was a lot. There was a lot. Let's see. I was trying to find something, but there's just not much craziness going on right now. I mean, there's a lot of craziness going on, but I don't know. I was trying to find something. Yes, this article, 49ers end Jimmy G speculation. There's no more speculation about him, Ross. They said a statement. It is now over. Okay, so this is a funny story that I want to talk about, Ross.
Yeah, that's it.
So do you know who Rashad what is his last name? Let's see. Oh my god, why can I not remember his name? It was where'd it go? It was Rashad Coward. Do you know who that is?
Oh yes, I love this story. Yes.
So he signed with the Steelers, Ross. Oh no, yeah. He signed with the Steelers, and a couple of days ago on Reddit, someone talked about, hey, I was playing Call of Duty and someone's wife was playing, and you could hear him in the background talk. You could hear him on the phone background talking and say, yeah, I'd love to play for the Steelers. And then he asked the wife about it. He's like, oh yeah, he plays for Chicago right now, but I guess we're gonna go to Pittsburgh or something like that. And then a couple of days went on, and everybody was like, all right, so he was just lying. And then today, former Bears offensive lineman Rashad Coward signed with the Steelers.
So good. I love that story broke that way. I think it was Charles Robinson over at Yahoo tweeted out about it and was like, the best thing about this signing is that it was broken by this exact situation. So just if you're playing online gaming, no matter where you are, you're playing online gaming, you're sitting in a restaurant, you're whatever, keep your ears open. Just keep your ears open. You never know what you're going to overhear.
Huh?
Oh, what's that? How many million was it? What's the signing bonus? What did you say? What was that?
Wait. Oh yeah, no. So we were talking to Eric Gilbert the other day. He coming back down to Baton Rouge.
There you go.
Yeah,
you heard it here first.
I didn't hear anything wrong. I have my headphones on. So.
Oh yeah, it's really tough.
What happened?
Wow,
I
see
for you. Coach O's over here.
Yeah,
I didn't see what he said.
I just heard Coach O say something about Eric Gilbert going back to Baton Rouge.
Whoa, that's crazy.
That's huge. No, that is an actual potential that could happen.
Yeah, he was visiting in Baton Rouge. This story will never end. This story will never end.
Eric Gilbert
Um,
commits to LSU, goes to transfer portal,
yeah,
goes to transfer portal, transfers to Florida first,
yes.
says he wants to get back closer to home, which is like Georgia area.
Hmm.
So Georgia, South Carolina become options. He transfers to Florida. Doesn't play yet for Florida. Decommits essentially. Lands somewhere else or just reopened his recruitment
Just reopened his recruitment.
and then is now visiting LSU
Hmm.
to potentially return to LSU.
Hmm. This would not be the first time something like this has happened.
Really?
Broom McCoy of USC
Right.
signed
Right.
with USC. He was like, "Nah, I'm gonna go to Texas." Then signed at Texas, and then was like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna go back to USC."
Yeah.
So it's not crazy to think.
No, not at all. I mean, we see it in the NFL too. I mean, I call it Anthony barring. And it
Mm-hmm.
happened again this offseason. I can't remember what player it was, but somebody was about to sign with one team, had agreed to terms in principle, and then decided to change, second guess, second thoughts, and then went back to the team that he was originally with and re-signed a new deal.
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
Here we go, Ross. Predicting every MLB award winner.
Ooh, I like it.
All right. A National League Comeback Player of the Year. The overwhelming majority say Steven Strasburg,
Yeah.
who last year only started 2 games.
Right.
It's crazy that he's 33. He's one of the first players I remember like following in like high school. Well, like that he was when he was in high school. He's one of the first players I remember like following that journey, and now he's 33. And now I feel old, Ross, even though I'm not.
You're ancient.
Ross, these baseball players are 33, Ross. You know how old I feel? Let's see. AL Comeback Player of the Year.
Easy.
Who is it?
Easy. Jordan Alvarez.
No, it's Trey. It's Trey Mancini, Ross. You
No.
want to know why?
Why?
Wow, I didn't know this, but this is awesome. Trey Mancini was sidelined during 2020 to receive treatment for stage 3 colon cancer. He received chemotherapy and made a full recovery, and now is fully aiming to be back on the field for opening day. So he already has the award.
Get out of here, Jordan Alvarez. It's over, man. It's over. Come back next
Trey
season.
Mancini's award.
Yeah, 1,000%. That's so dope. That's awesome. That's
incredible. If he takes in that bat, it's his award.
Yeah, for real. That's incredible.
Because that's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of like how like it was, the award in the NFL was kind of earmarked for Alex Smith from the very beginning, and it was like once he got out there and like played a game, it was like, here we go, confirmed, deserved.
NL Rookie of the Year, we're seeing a lot of Cabrian Hayes out of the Pittsburgh Pirates, who last year hit for 376 in 24 games, which is good, very good.
Yeah, you don't really see batting averages that high these days.
Yeah, especially for rookies.
Yeah.
And apparently he's just as good as he is on the plate. He is even better as a fielder and as a third baseman. So he is the favorite to win. There's also Sixto Sanchez.
Yes.
Because the baseball is weird. You can play in the previous season, but if you haven't hit the specific years of service mark, you're still eligible.
Yeah.
Because it's weird to me that Sixto Sanchez can also still win the Rookie of the Year.
Listen, any Miami Marlin should always be able to win the Rookie of the Year award. I don't care how long they've been in the MLB. Until they change teams, they're eligible.
The AL Rookie of the Year, they have 4 people getting these, and this is the first time where all 4 said the same person. This is a name that you might remember from the Tampa Bay Rays, Randy Arozarena. Yeah. He's the guy who can. He's the outfielder who can hit like crazy power.
Yeah.
And fueled them to the World Series, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though he had just 84 at bats last season. Wow. NL Cy Young, Jacob deGrom is the favorite. AL Cy Young. It is Lucas Giolito, Garrett Cole, Shane Bieber.
Oof.
NL MVP, Ross. Would you be surprised to see Mookie Betts?
Nope. Nope. I'd be disappointed if it wasn't. He should win AL MVP too.
There's Mookie Betts, Ronald Acuna Jr., and Fernando Tatis Jr. I cannot wait for the first Fernando Tatis MVP.
Yep.
AL MVP, Mike Trout, Jose Ramirez, and Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani is just someone that we're all waiting for Ohtani to really dig in and become a great player, and I cannot wait for it.
Yeah, I agree.
I would definitely say that 20 odd starts with a sub 3 ERA and over 20 home runs would certainly seal the deal for an MVP, I would say.
Yeah.
If they're good, which the Angels never are. NL pennant winner, Ross. Who do you think is going to win the NL pennant and make it the World Series?
I wonder who that might be.
I mean,
methinks I'd have to go with it's a team that doesn't usually
they didn't get a clean sweep, Ross. I'll tell you that much.
It's a team that doesn't usually get a lot of championship hype, but definitely deserves more of it. I'll say the Los Angeles Dodgers. I know it's a long shot. Long shot.
The only other team mentioned here is the Atlanta Braves.
Who?
Atlanta Braves.
No.
All right, Ross. Here in the AL pennant, Ross. It's another 3-1. Like there's 3 for one team and then 1 for an outlier. Who do you think this team is in the in the American League? I'm gonna say you're not gonna get it right.
Oh yeah. I was wondering if it was gonna be the Rays again. They're not predicting the rematch.
This is a team, Ross, I was very high on going into the postseason last year and then lost in the first round.
Ooh, who were you super high on last year? I can't remember.
Who is the Chicago White Sox.
Oh, the White Sox. I'm all about that.
And then there's one person who said the Yankees, and then the World Series champion, Ross.
Los Dodgers.
It's definitely the Atlanta Braves.
That's the Dodgers.
3-1. Say Los Angeles Dodgers to the Atlanta Braves.
Well, the one is the Atlanta Braves. Got it.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I look forward to watching the Los Angeles Dodgers play their way to another World Series and World Series win. To get more on that, we'll continue to talk about it on Wednesday's episode as we preview the MLB season with our good friend Sarah Griffin. Tomorrow we'll be back. For more at 5 p.m. Eastern time here on Dylan and Ross Say Sports with Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. Dylan, any closing words?
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. All right, John. We will see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Y'all say
wait.
Oh, what you got?
Go Beavs.
Go Beavs. Go Zags. That's tomorrow. Doesn't matter. We'll see you tomorrow. We love you.